Hello, UNI Panther fans and Overwatch fans alike. Welcome to Week 5 of the NECC regular season. Tonight, your 1-3 UNI Panthers from Cedar Falls, Iowa, will face off against the 2-1 Saginaw Valley State University Cardinals from Saginaw, Michigan. Thank you for joining us on your Friday night. Thanks to Bill in production, and you can now see our lovely faces. Hopefully that is still true. We have a 3-minute delay. Either way, my name is Hunter. Joining me in the booth is Joe. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm good. Thank you for the intro. I'm excited for a good stream this week. It's been a couple of weeks for me, but I don't know. I feel good.
Yeah, coming off of a sickness and finally got our starter back here in the booth. So really great to see you. Literally, I get to see your face, which is really strange.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, but looking at tonight, UNI is 1-3. Of course, they had a really nice win against Louisville. Unfortunately, what you missed last week, Joe, is that they got swept by Washtenaw Community College. Of course, it's one of those things where UNI wasn't really playing well together, and Washtenaw just did a really good job at kind of separating out UNI. But hopefully we can get another win in the win column. I know UNI right now is currently on the cusp of making that fourth spot and that fourth seed. So hopefully they can get something going here tonight against SVSU.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know. I think they might be able to.
We'll see. It'll come down to this. But starting off here, Joe, we're going to always start on control. You have a control map that you like. Well, I guess I should ask you first, what do you think of the new perk system?
Oh, yeah. What do I think of the new perk system? I think it's good. I think it's fun. Kind of helps with, over counter swap, whatever you want to call it nowadays. People kind of have a tendency to pick their perks and stay on their character a little bit more. And I'm not saying, countering and swapping the opponents is completely gone, but it's a little bit better. So I like the perks. They kind of shake things up a little bit. I don't know. How do you feel about the perks?
Yeah, I think it breeds a whole new breath of fresh air that you're able to kind of utilize a kit a little bit differently, or it just kind of amplifies the kit already just with like a little quick boost. Like the one thing that I found very interesting from last week's matchup is that they being Washtenaw, played into a Pharah. And the Pharah, instead of using the dispersal, it actually pulls things in kind of like an old Orisa like orb grab, kind of pulled them in. So it's really nice to see how kits are going to slightly change. And we'll see if that, it just brings a whole new toolkit, a whole new utilization. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I will say one of my complaints about the perks is that some of them are, I don't know, I'm hesitant to say just bad, but like they just seem kind of troll or not as helpful. So what I mean is like characters like Zenyatta or Sigma, they both have the choice for one of their perks to just take you. If you hold jump after you jump, you float in the air for a second, which is funny, but it's like, why take that over something that can actually do something? I don't know. Like, I think for Zenyatta, the choices are, for his first perk, it's your melee, like your kick has bigger knockback distance, or you can hold jump after you jump and you'll float. And it's like, well, why not take the knockback distance on the kick? I mean, it's really funny to see a floating Zenyatta, but that's about all it is. It's just funny. Kind of just makes him just as easy to hit. Because you what's up?
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt, but I tell you what, I would love to see a Torbjorn wall crawl perk. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's weird too, because like some perks you'd think are kind of troll but are pretty good. Like, so for Torbjorn, his second tier perk, you get to choose between having a turret that can stick to any surface, so like walls and ceilings, or you can choose to have a turret that goes big mode, like the original Torb back in the day, where it turns into like a level 3 turret or whatever, or level, I don't know. Anyways, my point is like those, it seems kind of like having the turret that sticks to walls would be troll, but it's not because I keep saying this every time I play with my friends. Gamers don't look up, so you just throw the turret above them, and they're like, I'm being shot, but I don't know where from. Like I can't check all the normal Torb turret spots because he's got the sticky turrets. So like those are interesting, and not just troll like the floaty ones are. So I don't know. I feel like some of the perks are severely, like, significantly game impacting. Like the one where Pharah can take it and she can move during her ult, that like completely changes Pharah, in my opinion. But then, like I said, the floating ones with Zenyatta and Sigma, it's like why even bother taking those? So I don't know.
I completely agree, but also kind of piggybacking off of that, what are your thoughts on bans? Do you like bans in a game like Overwatch?
I didn't think that they were out yet.
They aren't out yet, but it's going to be in the game plan, so I just thought I would get your initial thoughts on it.
I think bans are great. I've been asking for bans for a long time because, like, I'm not a great player, so having to deal with something like a Widowmaker or a Sombra, like those kinds of characters that can just kind of roll lobbies, if the person playing them is really good and knows everything that's going on, I'm like, screw it, just ban it. Like, I don't want to have to deal with it, and I don't want to have to try to rely on my teammates to deal with it when I'm playing a role that's not supposed to. So it's, I don't know. I also like it because if they're going to keep adding characters and they're going to keep adding perks, there's no way that they can keep it all balanced. And having that ban as like a last line of balanced defense is nice, because then you could just ban whatever is like agreed upon broken. So I don't know. I like bans. I've wanted bans in Overwatch for a long time. I understand it would significantly change how the game is played, but frankly, I think the game needs some of that.
I completely
life
agree.
Back into it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because there's definitely like insta-lock characters that you absolutely hate playing against, whether that be Hanzo, Zarya,
or like an insane
Tracer.
Doomfist can just ruin the game for you.
Exactly. But if you have that ability to get that ban, that would be fantastic. So I'm just really excited to see, how that's going to further evolve, like comp and stuff like that, since we don't necessarily have Owl anymore, but we have the closest equivalent, to kind of see how that's going to affect, collegiate matches as it moves on, and how that's going to affect patch notes as it moves on. It's just so amazing. And I really feel like Overwatch is really taking a better turn for the bans, for the perks, just bringing a whole new, like, Overwatch 2.5, if you will.
Yeah, and I think it's important to realize that for most people, they're not going to be playing at like the top competitive level. They're not going to be playing like on a team. And I think for that general layman, that general person, having the bans could help breathe a breath of fresh air into the game. But going into map 1 here, it is going to be control. We didn't get a chance to talk about what we like for control maps, but I like Lijiang Tower, and it's pretty standard choice, and it looks like that's what they're going to be going with tonight.
Yeah, I completely agree, Joe. Lijiang Tower is just one of those classic matchups, especially for UNI, who really enjoy a brawl type of composition. Now, I heard in the pregame for a little bit that maybe they're going to look at using a Pharah. Depends on how this is going to set up, as we have our starters for UNI being XNL, Totoro, Roadkill, Doomrad, Mr. Sirclaps, while the Cardinals will have J-Rod, Nasty, Geek, Mega, Lindsay, and Ban... Ban Nidam Main?
Ban on main?
Yeah. Ban on main.
I like Ban Nidam main.
I'm good for one butchering of a name always.
Yeah, you're good.
So banned on name. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Go ahead, take it away, Joe.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's going to be nothing too crazy out of the picks so far. I mean, we're going to see Roadkill roll out on Zarya, which we don't really see Roadkill roll out straight away on frequently, but I like it here.
All right.
It's they don't know they have a Sojourn, but it'll go well against the Sojourn.
I completely agree. XNL on the Symmetra is going to be an interesting play as it gets a little hotbox here. And Mega already able to take out Doomrad. Playing the Lucio. XNL going down to Geek as well. And UNI is going to have to fight on point as the point will begin to unlock. Nice purple coming out for SVSU, and Mega getting a double kill done, and hopefully go back and secure the point.
Yeah, it looked pretty good for UNI at the start there, but Hunter, where do you think things kind of fell apart for them?
I think the biggest thing is that they have the right idea of kind of fighting in the little hotbox area that I would call for Symmetra. However, you didn't push in enough space, and you just got picked really early, as J-Rod Nasty right there getting the right click on Mr. Surclaps. I feel like UNI just needs to focus on a single player, get that kill confirm, and then hopefully steamroll from there.
Yeah, and you know, in fights like that, you're just gonna have to be careful not to get picked off on the way in. Zarya made the space, but as soon as the Kiri goes down, it's gonna make things a lot more difficult.
Completely agree. Geek taking out Totoro. So again, UNI just staggering just ever so often, and UNI's gonna need to get a really good engage here. Already 45% ticked over for the Cardinals.
I mean, honestly, what I would do right now is maybe send Lucio over to go mess with the Ana, kind of stop some of their healing from going out, because the Lucio for UNI is already kind of all over the place, but they do find a pick on the Juno.
Blizzard comes out, Kitsune Rush to initiate. UNI's gonna have to push past through it. Totoro finally gets the right click on Lindsay. Trying to get another pick on J-Rod here, has to reload, gets the headshot! And able to go ahead and move on point. XNL go ahead, take out Geek. Mr. Surclap steamrolling from there, and 77% will be the tick for the Cardinals. UNI will start their ticks as well.
It's really good for UNI. They got, oh, here comes the grab from Zarya really quick.
Able to find
in
two
front of
there.
the spawn doors is bold.
Of course, UNI playing a little bit aggressive here, as Geek's going to go ahead and take two out there on the May. 15% ticked over for UNI, and they're going to have to retreat, but Totoro gets the right click on Mega. How about that, Joe?
Totoro's pumping right now. I was going to say, that looked really good for UNI at the start there. SVSU used 3 ults to UNI's 1 for UNI's retake. Then it looked kind of bad as they ulted in front of spawn doors, but it looks like it's okay for UNI right now.
Yeah, get the nice stagger on Lindsay. Totoro overclock, able to find J-Rod Nasty, and UNI with a nice sim ult, able to take the space back again.
Yep. Totoro stepped on the gas, did something in between the last couple points. Pumping right now on the Sojourn.
Band on main, gonna have that orbital ray, looking for the engage here. They will go ahead and take the engage as Doomrat is gonna go down.
Oh,
J-Rod Nasty's gonna overclock. He finds one. He's gonna be looking for two. Gets taken out in the meantime. XNL goes down. Nice little bio grenade goes down on point. 65% ticked over, and Saginaw will continue their ticks.
You know, Hunter, I've been reading online that Sojourn is kind of strong right now, and I'm seeing it firsthand. It's kind of which team gets the Sojourn pick first.
Yeah, absolutely. One might have to be goated on the sticks here, as Mr. Surclaps will go ahead and initiate with Kitsune Rush. UNI has to find a target.
Yeah, they do. Oh, nice, they found Ana.
Able to engage there. Doomrat trying to sustain, has to use beat, as Blizzard's going to be on point. It's going to be overtime. UNI has to find a pick here, but Mega with Annihilation, able to take the point. Overtime ticks over. UNI isn't there. And the first point for control on Lijiang Tower will go to Saginaw.
Yeah, it's tough for UNI. I mean, I hope they don't feel too bad about that. They put up a really good fight, but you know, that Sojourn on both teams is a big problem. Getting a lot of picks.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with XNL here playing the Symmetra, because the whole idea with Symmetra and Returns is that you have prolonged team fights. But if you're going in really aggressively there, trying to get the picks and the quick clear outs, Symmetra isn't really the type of play that you want to kind of play into. It's usually good on defense.
Yeah, I agree. And it's interesting because Saginaw also is running the sim. So, I don't know. It might not matter as much just because Sojourn has that capability of just exploding people.
Neither are you.
And looks like that's what we're seeing out of both teams. Gonna be TPing into the window. Big fight straight at the start.
Window comes out as roadkill is going to be on the Ramatra. Gonna go ahead and get the mirror, and no one really kind of died from that chaos. It's just sustain, sustain, sustain. But Totoro able to get the right click on J-Rod Nasty. And UNI is going to try and get the points ticked over. Geek, though, laying down a teleport. Having to work around Roadkill. And Roadkill able to take out Geek. And Roadkill also taking out Lindsay. And Totoro and the Roadkill combo able to secure the first ticks on second point in Li Jiang.
I like the Ramatra pick by Roadkill here. I don't think Zarya was bad, but it wasn't working. And this seems to be working so far. I don't know. We only got 13% ticked over, so we'll see. There's still plenty of time for this game to swing.
It's going to have to come down to, again, the stagger picks that you and I struggled with on that first point. Maybe they can play a little bit more close together. As already Roadkill able to pick up one.
Yeah, that looks really bad for UNI. That Mei wall completely cutting off Roadkill, but he ends up finding a couple picks and his team pushes in with him. They're going to push him back to their spawn. Nice job, UNI.
Yeah, able to go ahead and transform into Nemesis mode. And again, I feel like it's just important to, with Nemesis form transformation between this mirror matchup, because the biggest thing here is taking space, especially on a control map, as UNI is going to go ahead and go on top. Maywall comes out, splits out XNL. He goes down. Mega, though, left alone, and he slept. Annihilation comes out for Roadkill. He's going to go ahead and pummel on point. Picks up one, picks up two. Mega trying to come back for his team, but can't. Roadkill taking out Lindsay, and Roadkill right now absolutely on fire. First team fight for UNI this series.
Yeah, it looks really good for Roadkill right now, but UNI do have to keep in mind that Mega's got his Annihilation ready, so, you know, just gonna have to play this smart here. We're gonna see Mega run through. How is Roadkill gonna play his cooldowns? Okay, here's the orbit and the Mei freeze.
Yeah, really nice stagger there. Roadkill able to pick up one. Mega to do the same as well. Simmed walls come out, try to create that space as Mega's gonna annihilate on point. Overtime ticks over. UNI able to give this up if they need to, and they will, as J-Rod Nasty gets two nasty right clicks.
Yeah, that was a tough fight for UNI, coming out with the Mei ult on SVSU. Kind of messes up your entire team's positioning as well as the Annihilation, but Roadkill's got his Annihilation coming up, and Mr. Sir Claps has the Kitsune Rush. You have a pretty good chance of taking this back here.
And XNL gonna set up the TP. It gets blocked. What a play!
It knocked the TP off too. I didn't know that could happen.
I didn't know that could, you know, collision as well. Totoro, though, is going to initiate Kitsune Rush out for Mr. Sir Claps. Nemesis mode transforms, pushes Saginaw off the point. UNI going to fight on a contested space on point. It's going to have to work around a couple Nemesis modes, but Mega's low. Doomrat able to take him out. XNL on 1 HP has to dance around to take out Lindsay. Does. Is Doomrat on point. Going to go ahead, sustain his team. Overtime ticking over. Mei Regen has to come out, tries to stagger as overtime ticks over. Could it? And it does. UNI able to take second point in Li Jiang Tower.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Sir Claps there after that Kitsune. They just kind of ran in and made space. I really like that play. They got really close to dying, which was scary, but they just TP'd back and everything was good.
Yeah, I completely agree. What did you like of that last match? Or
I like the ult economy and usage on UNI. I
think they did the right idea of kind of picking their engagements, in my opinion. Of course, they moved some space around. They kind of jumped in on point, saw that it was a bad situation there on the first kind of pick, and then Totoro able to get the right clicks. And like you mentioned, Joe, I feel like it comes down to the mechanical play of the Soldier.
Yep, and looks like SVSU is just going to abandon Sojourn and go with a Bastion here. We don't see a lot of Bastions in these games, but I like it.
Nice purple comes out for SVSU. Roadkill, though, able to pick up Lindsay. Mega able to pick up Doomrat. Doomrat again, good for two. Geek gonna take out XNL on the Symmetra. And UNI with a clean first team fight.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Sir Claps yet again. Both Annas got picked at the start there, so it was down to banned on main and Mr. Sir Claps, and Mr. Sir Claps was able to keep his team alive a little bit better. So, nice work.
Yeah, Totoro hopefully continues the right clicks here as Mr. Sir Claps able to get the stagger on J-Rod Nasty. And I'm not entirely sure about the Bastion pick here. I don't know if that's just
okay. He swapped off to Ash.
Okay, good. It was kind of dubious at best, especially since you didn't get that first initial pick. So you're not really defending with Bastion, and kind of utilizing his kit in a stationary area is more preferred.
Yeah, right now SVSU kind of split up as they're trying to push from this off angle here, and they are going to lose 2 members straight away. There goes their push. UNI realize it. They're going to walk on them.
I really like Roadkill here, swapping, taking the space, knowing when to do it, and just being aggressive. I feel like he's being a little bit more aggressive than Mega, and I feel like that's benefiting the team as a whole.
Who Roadkill is?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. And honestly, I think it's just because he can get away with it. Mr. Sir Claps has been doing a really good job staying alive and being kind of all over the place this series. So as long as he keeps that up, I think we'll be all right.
69% ticked over for UNI, looking to take map 1. Kitsune rushes come out. It's going to be mirrored. Mega going to go ahead, press into XNL. Totoro able to take out Geek. Here comes all the annihilations. Take it all away. And Roadkill with 3.
All hell kind of broke loose there for a second, but Roadkill came out on top.
That is nasty. And just a really good, as Totoro is going to go ahead, try to overclock, gets walled, but doesn't matter. Gets the right click on 2 members. And with that, UNI will go ahead and take map 1 at Lijiang Tower.
Nice job, UNI. So that means going into round 2 here, SVSU is going to pick between Hybrid or Escort, and then UNI is going to ban a map from that map pool. And then SVSU will then pick the map from the remaining maps in that type, and then the winner, UNI, gets to pick the time inside. So for Hybrid and Escort, we got a bunch of different maps. Do you hope it's Hybrid or Escort?
Well, considering how well they're playing the Ramatra right now, I would really like to see probably an Escort, because Ramatra is more mobile, and the best way to kind of take space is work off of the payload. So I feel like if you could pair with Ramatra and a Hybrid, so what kind of maps would we be looking at then at that point, Joe?
For Hybrid?
Yeah.
For Hybrid, we have Blizzard World, Eichenwald, Hollywood, Kings Row, Midtown, New Bondi, and Paraiso.
I would love to see an Eichenwald pick here, to be
We haven't seen Eichenwald in a hot minute, you're right. I would like Eichenwald.
We haven't seen it yet for UNI this semester. Of course, they've played 4 Hybrid, Kings Row, Midtown, and New Bonnie. The only map they did win is that New Bonnie map. So maybe if I'm Saginaw, not pick New Bonnie.
Yeah.
What,
I don't know.
What are you kind of feeling? What do you think of the composition there with Roadkill on the Ramatra? Do you see any map that's sticking out to you here, Joe?
Maybe Eichenwald. Maybe you get away with it on Kings Row, or probably Numbani as well. I think anything could work as long as they don't have people get picked off at the start. Because I feel like Saginaw is going to go with Sojourn pick again.
Well,
just because
worked for him. It's what worked for him.
Yeah, they swapped off it in the end of Lijiang Tower, and I think that was a mistake because the Sojourn was working for SVSU. I don't know what the call was for those guys to say, hey, let's not play Sojourn, but I mean, it didn't work. So I think they should go back to Sojourn, and if they do, I think something like Midtown could be really good for them.
And it
But as
looks
far
like
as
the pick
as
is going to be Escort. Sorry, I
okay, yeah,
interrupted
no,
you
you're
there.
good. So complete switch up with maps. Now we're looking at Circuit Royale, Dorado, Havana, Junkertown, Rialto, Route 66, Shambali Monastery, and Lodge Point, Gibraltar. I feel like we don't see very much Shambali Monastery. I like that map
No,
though.
I do like Shambali Monastery. Also like Watchpoint Gibraltar, of course, but that's
Yeah.
just because I'm a Diva player, and Diva's really good on Watchpoint. But the only time that they played on Escort was Havana, and they lost that game. And I wasn't a fan of that Havana game, to be quite frank, because they played the Hazard, and just I forget who they played at the time, but that Hazard player just took up so much space and was able to kind of utilize the jagged wall a little bit too efficiently against, I think, XNL at the time. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe Havana's the pick. I'm also not against Circuit Royale. That
Yeah.
gives Sigma an option as a play. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably see Circuit Royale, maybe Havana. I honestly think Route 66 could be a good pick. Feels like that is a strong Sojourn map. Um,
Yeah. Route
I don't think.
66 is classic for
Yeah, I don't think they're
kids
gonna
game.
pick Watchpoint Gibraltar. Most teams don't like that. And I don't think they're gonna pick Shambali Monastery because just nobody picks that. I don't think they'll pick Junkertown either because UNI is picking, right?
I believe so,
Let me check
yes.
again. Oh no, so UNI is gonna ban a map from the map
Okay,
pool,
they
and
did.
then SVSU will pick the map. So UNI is gonna ban Route 66. I called it that they might be thinking of it.
Yeah.
So I think SVSU will probably go with Circuit Royale or Havana.
Now, I heard earlier in the Discord chat that maybe we would see a Farah come out eventually. And again, I don't know if that's going to be necessarily paired well with any of these escort maps because you kind of need that frontline presence on the payload. So maybe we see Havana again or Circuit Royale.
Do we know if SVSU has any like Widow picker? Because we know they have an Ash picker.
Hmm.
And I think Circuit Royale is good for those sniper characters. And
I
Havana is as well.
I do not know, to be quite frank.
Maybe they'll go with Dorado, dude. That's a boof goofing map. Let's see.
A boof
If people
goofing
don't
map?
like, if people don't love, yeah, I mean it's goofy. It's like I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah,
know Bill
Dorado's
doesn't
so
like
bad.
Dorado, but it's a boof goofing map for sure.
Boof goofing. No, see, here's the play is that if you're gonna play Dorado, you have to play Bastion. Like I don't make the rules here. You have to play Bastion
That's
if
a
you're gonna
great,
play.
it's a great Torb map too.
It's a great Torb map. I mean, Dorado was the map to play if you wanted to play like pirate ship in OG Overwatch. So that and you have that ability now. You can swap with the Orisa kit to get the shield like she used to. So you could literally play pirate ship.
Yeah, you could.
That's crazy to me.
While we have a minute of downtime, if you guys are liking the stream and you want to support UNI Panther Esports, give us a follow, give us a go cats in the chat, or you can type !merch or click that button. It'll take you to guardianproline.com/collections/northern-iowa-panther-esports. There are sweatshirts, t-shirts, polos, jerseys, beanies. You can customize the jerseys a lot cheaper than regular jerseys. So if you want to support us that way, please do that. Otherwise, just put a go cats in the chat. People like, I don't know, the players sometimes have the streams open and they like that bit of support. So definitely do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ban was Route 66. The pick is going to be Circuit Royale. I really like this pick for UNI.
Yeah, I like it too. I hope Totoro goes out on the Sojourn. Maybe we'll see him come out with a Widow because we know he's got that in his pocket. He's also got the Cassidy in his pocket, but we have not seen people playing a lot of Cassidy, so maybe not that.
Yeah, I mean, Cassidy is going to be interesting to see as we see UNI going ahead and getting XNL on the off the bench, going to be healing now, I believe. Or no, excuse me, I saw Squishy and J-Rod switch. That's what I saw. Squishy is coming in for J-Rod Nasty on the DPS, so going to be changing up a little bit there.
Okay.
However, XNL stays where he is in the support role.
All right. So also with Circuit Royale, you mentioned earlier, this could be a Sigma map. I love Sigma. I love watching Sigma, but I don't know that either teams play Sigma too much. I think it'll just be another Ramatra face-off.
Yeah, I can see that. I would be interested to see what Roadkill's Sigma would play like, because I just feel like Circuit Royale has so many angles where you cannot not pick Sigma in this kind of situation. Yep. But I guess it'll come to find out as we go ahead and head to Circuit Royale. So UNI currently leading the series 1-0. Joe, what do you think UNI needs to do here to kind of win out Circuit Royale?
I think being careful not to get picked off is going to be a huge part of it, because there are really long sight lines on this map that something like a Widowmaker or Sojourn can kind of abuse with their one-shot capabilities. So you're going to have to watch out for that. I think a Mei pick by either team would go pretty far here, because you are playing for that payload. You know, having that Mei ult get everybody off the payload is pretty big, especially in some of the spots here. It looks like Geek 0007 is going to go with the Mei pick, and it looks like Totoro is going to go with the Widow pick, at least at the start. I think that's a great choice at the start, because the attackers, they just open the doors and everybody on the other team's right there. So great choice, like opportunity for a Widow pick.
What do you think about the Doomrad Lifeweaver pick?
I think that's interesting. We don't see a lot of Lifeweavers. It can kind of annoy Sigma players a lot. You know, you got that grip, you got that tree, a couple ways to save people from Gravitic Flux. I don't know. I think that's about all it's going to do for UNI, though. Because they don't really have dive. They've got a lot of sniper with the Ashe and Widow.
I completely agree, as it looks like Mega is going to go ahead and work around this little corner here. Kind of a different setup spot for a typical Sigma, because normally you see it on the right-hand side on the little elevated level, but Totoro working the Widow gets the headshot on Band on Main.
That's going to be huge. That's their main heals for SVSU. UNI need to push and press the advantage.
Roadkill going to go ahead, take out Mega. So we obviously see who won that tank v tank matchup. Roadkill able to continue pressing the advantage, as the cart will go ahead and begin to push on this first point.
Something tricky about this map. Oh, Squishy, not a good time to die, man. Something tricky about this map is this spot is like really notorious for touching at the last second, and it looks like Mega is positioning to get that touch off. We'll see though, as the rest of his team is cut off by Totoro on the Widow right now. Almost finds the pick on Zenyatta. If they want to touch, they have to do it now. Okay, they go for the touch.
2.6 meters to play. Nice purple comes out for UNI. It's going to be a fight on the payload. Mr. Circlap to Totoro, able to pick up 2 members, and already looking for another. UNI going to go ahead and secure the first point in Circuit Royale.
Yeah, if Saginaw wanted to take the point there, that was their chance. I mean, obviously they didn't get it, but they were really close. But UNI's DPS, Mr. Circlaps and Totoro putting in the work in the last second there.
Yeah,
for sight coming out from Totoro.
4:33 left to play. UNI has a strong push started right now. And Geek gonna be on the Tracer. I like this trade, or the swap onto the Tracer, because UNI's biggest crutch is getting split. Right now they're playing very close, especially towards the Ramatra. And Nemesis mode's gonna go ahead and Annihilation! He's got one! Thank you, can I have another? He's stunned and try to run, but you can't. Roadkill able to take out 3.
Maybe a 4th here, as Roadkill, He's pissed. He finds a fourth.
Able to get it done, and that's a smooth second point for UNI. Already pushing back Saginaw to the corner that you normally see played on third point, all thanks to Roadkill.
Yep, and you and I have 5 minutes to take here. I think if you're SVSU, you have to think about, you know, is it good to force the Sigma here? I don't know, because if this can be a really tough matchup for Sigma, because if he's not getting value, then just pick a different tank. I don't know.
Yeah, I completely agree. Here we go. Squishy swapping to the Hanzo, able to get the sniper matchup as Bob will go ahead and come onto point. Mr. Circlaps able to take out Mega, and Bob able to pick up one.
Oh my.
Roadkill, Mr. Circlaps, and a whole host of UNI members playing aggressive on point. And Joe, we still have 4:24 left to play.
Yeah, I think SVSU right now has the right idea with the Tracer pick to try to flank and get some sniper kills, but it's just too little too late. I mean, they're using ults to get out of their spawn doors right now. Tracer giving Totoro the business. He's gonna end up going down.
Well, UNI does have a little bit of extra time to give as Roadkill's gonna go into annihilation mode. Able to pick up one, unfortunately can't get three like last time. And UNI gonna have to look into maybe the ult economy at this point if they want to go ahead and push it the last bit of distance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think UNI need to just kind of work the corner here, play smart, try not to get picked, because if they get picked, that's time that's being burnt. All they have to do is win one good fight, and they win this round. Well, I mean, they push it all the way in.
Yeah, they'll get a full push and then kind of know where they just need to hold it at the end as the sniper duel is getting intense here.
Oh.
Totoro can't quite get the headshot landed. Roadkill's gonna be boosted. Mr. Circlaps able to take out a whole host of...
Oh, he kills him with the machine gun from that.
Oh my goodness, that is nasty with another team kill in UNI's belt. 307 will be what is remaining in the time bank as UNI gets a full push.
Yep, Hunter, I think Saginaw need to get Geek off of the Tracer. I don't think it was working for him. I think it was like they made some space, Tracer did. They got some pressure on the snipers on UNI, but it was too little too late. You know, like it doesn't matter if Tracer's getting the Ashe or the Widow off you if half your team's already dead. So
yeah. The specific counter to the Tracer for Totoro on the Widowmaker, again, I don't necessarily agree with that point because your immediate problem is going to be Roadkill. So you have to recognize you need to more DPS down range, especially on that front line, to make Roadkill cycle through as much of his kit as possible. And if you're not doing that, then Roadkill gets a free walk. Obviously, we saw that on the second point where he was able to pick up 3 and a follow-up on the Annihilation. And I feel like Saginaw isn't scratching the itch they need to, and that is why UNI kind of had a free breeze push.
UNI's rolling out on the Mercy. I'm sorry to interrupt. They normally pick Mercy in the spawn and then swap back, but looks like Doomrad is going to be rolling out with the Mercy. Maybe do a little pocket action on Mr. Circlaps' Sojourn. Mercy Sojourn can be pretty tough to deal with. It's a lot of damage.
Playing the Echo is very interesting to see. I do like that.
I think it's interesting. It might work now that Mega is on the Winton.
Yeah, you kind of go into a more divey comp, and again, UNI get split up so easily. So I like these swaps coming out. Maybe the Winton, as Mega will go ahead and go on point, gonna duel against Roadkill. He's gonna go ahead and back away. And UNI... Oh, headshot for Squishy. Totoro's gonna have to go back here, as Mega will go ahead and attack with a +1. Has to bubble. Nemesis mode comes out on point, forces Mega to drop, along with all of the other Cardinal team members. Gonna go ahead and keep on pressing the attack for Mr. Circlaps. Squishy able to take out XNL, so another key stagger for Saginaw.
Yep, UNI just doing their best to hang on and buy time right now. I think Totoro got rezzed at the start of that fight. I'm not sure, but I don't know about the Widow pick anymore. We'll see. Okay, Echo goes down.
Yeah, at this point, now that you're kind of pushed off, I would expect Geek to maybe swap off of that. Mr. Circlap's able to go ahead and get an overclock kill on Lindsay. And Mr. Circlaps getting it done. He's going to push all the way back to the corner. He gets 3!
Ooh, don't die. Very close.
Yeah, you don't want to get too aggressive there, but like you've mentioned, Joe, Doomrad on the Mercy, you have a lot of primary heals and a lot of sustain that you are able to be aggressive and not get hurt for it.
Oh man, Mr. Circlaps finding the pick on Geek. It's going to be rough for Saginaw as they need their whole team coming around this corner. Everything is a mess right now, Hunter. Everybody's all over the place.
Yeah, UNI's playing a little bit too spread. Lindsay's able to pick up 2. Doomrad has to force the Mercy ult, and it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to engage. Mega going to dive the back line. Going to try and take down Roadkill, as Roadkill is going to have to back around to the side corner. Geek going to take out Doomrad. Finally, Doomrad goes down, and the primary heals are no longer there. But Roadkill with the Annihilation, he's going to play on point. Going to try and work around the sign. And pushes Saginaw off the point when I thought they were dead to rights with no heals.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, the reason they were not dead to rights is because Roadkill made that space, but now he doesn't have the Annihilation for this touch, so this is going to be really tough for UNI. I mean, he's nanoed right now from XNL. That's huge. He's trying to make space.
Lindsay gonna have to force out the Kitsune Rush, but you have to be on Kitsune Rush if you want to utilize it. Nemesis mode comes out. Orbital Ray comes out as well for Saginaw. They're gonna try and force UNI off this. 35 seconds left to play as Squishy is able to take out Roadkill. And Mega able to finally separate out Totoro, get that kill confirmed. Maybe the first point will be secured by Saginaw.
Looks like it is. UNI, I think it's time to get... I don't know about the Widow anymore. I feel like they need some help dealing with the monkey. Maybe? I don't know. Totoro finds a pick. It's like they're listening to me as I jinx them.
Yeah, as Doomrad is going to go ahead, swap off the Mercy, go onto the Brigette, which I think is more appropriate into a Winston. As Echo will go ahead and copy into Ramatra, forcing out the Annihilation for Roadkill. He's going to have to deal with 2 takes. Mr. Circlaps, though, able to take out Squishy. And Geek, kind of on the back foot here, gets out of transformation. But Mr. Circlaps able to pick up 2. Roadkill taking out Lindsay. Mega, though, taking out Mr. Circlaps. And Roadkill is hunting for a monkey.
Like that monkey's out of there. Yeah, he is. Unfortunate. Oh, okay, he kind of threw it.
You get a little too aggressive there, Mega, and you pay for it in the end. Of course, like you said, Joe, if Mega just kind of went back and just kept on retreating, I feel like Roadkill doesn't get enough reach for the DPS, but you re-engage a little bit, and I think that's your error there.
This is going to be tough for Saginaw, as you and I have a rally up and ready to work with. Don't get picked off here, Totoro. They know. Okay, cheeky little pick on Echo.
All right, nice job, Totoro, getting the early pick, especially like this position that he decided to take up and get away in just enough time. 107 left to play. Saginaw still has to push it the distance in point 2. Squishy will have to work around. Mega, though, able to pick up Mr. Circlaps. And I don't see the aggression. The reason why I don't see the aggression is because Roadkill is literally in the backline right now.
I was wondering what was going on,
and he's able to pick up Band on Main. It's going to be a fight, again, of the tanks, as Mega will finally win this one. And here comes Saginaw with 33 seconds left to play.
Yep, and they're going to realize that. They're going to have Mega go up and play the corner, play pretty far, make some space, but Totoro finding the pick on Lindsay. They go down to Squishy, but that is a nice pick on a support.
Mr.
Oh, and they find Squishy too.
And
Oh
they're
my
just
God,
getting trades for days here. It's
This is a
just
clown
one
fiesta.
player or one player, but Roadkill's going to be on point. Orbital Ray comes out for Saginaw. Mega, who is purpled, going to get taken out by Roadkill. Really nice bio grenade for XNL.
Yeah.
Rally comes out now for UNI. They're going to fight on point as it ticks into overtime. Annihilation is committed. Kitsune Rush is committed. And it will be for naught as UNI will go ahead and take map 2 for Circuit Royale.
Nice work, UNI. I was not confident that the Widow would come back and help them, but it did. I don't know. It's weird having a Widow in the game. Like, you know, it's one of the reasons I'm okay with having a ban, because it's just like these two are playing their own game most of the time, and it's like, oh well, now we don't have two people. You see, it's I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Even with the monkey constantly on her.
See, and I feel like that might have been Saginaw's issue, is that you're committing the Winton and you have the Echo, so you kind of have like a pseudo dive going on. And of course, you got Squishy on the Widow to maybe get that early first pick, but you weren't really getting the first picks, and the picks that you were getting weren't necessarily benefiting the team fight in general. So I feel like Saginaw needs to go back to the drawing board here to maybe commit to a composition that will, be able to be utilized beginning of team fight to end of team fight.
Yeah. So going into round 3 here, UNI is going to ban the map from the pool. It is going to be push. So UNI will ban a push map. Loser Saginaw will pick the push map, and then UNI will pick time inside. So for push, we're looking at Coliseo, Esperanza, New Queen Street, or Runasapi. I would pick New Queen Street.
Well, we've seen Coliseo 3 times. We've seen Runasapi
I hope we don't
once.
see Coliseo again. I'm so bored of Coliseo, dude. I'm so bored of it.
But it's what UNI's so good at, and I say good even though at a 33% win rate, while Unisapi has a 100% win rate right now on the regular season for UNI. So I don't know. I would be interested to see a New Queen Street. I feel like New Queen Street.
They're picking Coliseo.
All right, Joe, tell me why you don't like Coliseo. Is it just because we see it so much?
I'm tired of seeing it. Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing it. I mean, I know it's UNI's bread and butter. They're pretty good at it. You know, you don't want to have a lot of variables, in these games. And push tends to introduce some variables that are not so fun to play with. And so UNI, they know how to minimize those additional variables by just going Coliseo every time, which is good, but it makes it boring for me to cast.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like, oh, we picked Wrecking Ball, or oh, here comes the Romatra and paired with the Kiriko, and
yeah, like we know we're gonna see another Widowmaker from Totoro.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's just gonna be, I don't know, just maybe a little bit of a snooze fest here for UNI, as we know that Totoro is again going to play a hit scan, maybe a sniper, probably Hanzo or a Widowmaker. So as we go ahead and we will go into map number 3, UNI looking for their second sweep of the regular season. Joe, how does UNI do that here?
They stick to what they're good at. I think having a Widow pick would be good here. I mean, I kind of talked some crap on it last game, but it worked for him. Saginaw was not able to completely shut out that Widow. I think a Sojourn pick could be good for UNI. I think a May pick could be good. I think Ramatra should probably Roadkill should just stick to Ramatra. It's been working tonight. As far as supports go, I think UNI can kind of get away with whatever. I'd say maybe not a Mercy. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go with Lucio and Bap. Ooh, and a Hazard.
Okay, maybe we're switching it up here, Joe. Maybe we're completely wrong here. Totoro going back on the
UNI's got a goofy comp right now. They got
That's what I'm realizing.
Goofy comp. That is a goofy comp. Okay, they're switching it up a little bit. That is good. The Geek coming out with the Genji. I don't think we've seen that tonight.
No, and we haven't seen a Genji come out as well. Typically, we will see Unlasting play the Genji, but with his absence, I don't foresee a Genji coming out for UNI.
Yeah, we'll see here as Saginaw taking up as much space as they can on the outside here, but Geek going down straight away to Roadkill. Roadkill's not having any of that.
Yeah, Mega going back on the Winston, which with this kind of composition, more expected because you're now playing a fully dive comp. But you have to deal with XNL with his sleep and his bio grenade, so you have to be very careful on how you navigate that. Robot unlocks. Totoro takes out Squishy. Mega has to retreat back. And UNI going to go ahead and press the advantage. Nice sleep.
Look at UNI playing as a team. I'm sorry for interrupting, but look at all 5 members of UNI playing together. It's beautiful to watch.
I completely agree. They're playing very cohesive, playing around the roadkill, which I think is very important, and they're getting the call-outs and the kills when they need, as Mr. Circlaps able to pick up 2 on the Ash.
Yep, if Saginaw want to win this, just change the tide into their favor, they have to play together. UNI, all 5 members, I keep seeing them on my screen at one time, but I do not see the same from Saginaw.
Yeah, UNI so
not
far...
get picked. Oh, but Band on Main gets picked.
Yeah, so Totoro being absolutely commanding here with the Widow. Would love to see what the KD is at the end of the day. But Roadkill also playing very aggressive on the Ramatra, already pushed up almost the entire distance, and UNI will have a forward spawn advantage.
I think honestly at this point, maybe Saginaw needs to just stop going for anti-sniper comps and just do their own thing that works for them, because now they've got a Sombra. I don't think it's working out for them. They've still got the Winston. It's not been working out for them. I think they just need to do things that they're good at and not worry about the snipers, maybe. I don't know. It's tough because you see that Sombra's getting 0 value right there.
And it looks like Roadkill's going to go ahead and be nanoed by XNL. Going to have to, again, fight on point. You're going to get them so low as Lindsay going to go ahead and take out Doomrad. But Roadkill on the Annihilation going to go ahead and pass a Raging Monkey, but to no avail. And UNI does have 91% meters pushed so far. So that was kind of an interesting engage, in my opinion.
I say that Sober's not getting any value, and then like 10 seconds later they get a kill. Okay, so you can see Infrasight come out from UNI. Totoro knows where they are. They're just playing safe, playing corners.
Yeah, Totoro unfortunately not going to be able to pick up a purple monkey. Mega, who is going to be low, going to have to work around
deep,
with little
you are
heals. He is deep, but he has... Oh no, Orbital Roll Ray comes out for Saginaw. They're going to go ahead and press the advantage. Band on Main will use some torpedoes. XNL goes down. Doomrad goes down. Roadkill all alone. And Mr. Circlaps again. But Mr. Circlap or Roadkill able to pick up 2.
Yeah, these fights have been really interesting. Okay, it keeps looking like one-sided, and then it goes to the other side, and then it goes back to the other side. The swings are crazy, and I think they just keep swinging in UNI's favor because they are playing together a little bit more.
Yeah, but you have to deal with Mega's monkey.
That's true.
And he's going to go ahead and dive into the backline. Totoro goes down, finally loses the 1v1. But Doomrad has to sustain the team. Tries to get a little whip shot in. As Bob comes out, that's going to be placed on point. Try to zone out Saginaw as the Cardinals will go ahead and play a little spread. Annihilation comes out for UNI. You're going to see if you can get a little value there. Able to pick up Lindsay. Going to have to force into a Raging Monkey. And Mega's going to go ahead and be in the backline. UNI does have control of the robot. Geek able to take out Doomrat. So, interesting set of events coming out here, Joe.
The push bot hasn't moved in like 30 seconds. I just want to point that out. Like, not at all. Which is fine. I mean, everybody's fighting for it. You don't want to, like, split your team up just to push the bot 5 feet, but yeah, I think it's funny. It looks like Saginaw are going to come out of this very long scrap on top as UNI are all going down. They're going to have to regroup.
Yeah, and I basically think that has to come down to maybe the 2v2s that kind of happened in that narrow hallway. And when you're playing with Geek on the Sombra, you kind of have more quick ability to get the quick hacks. As Doomrat and Totoro going down as well. Squishy finally picking up the pace here on the Widow.
We'll see. They have to pick up the pace for a long time. Mega has no ult to work with. Neither does Roadkill. Oh my goodness.
3 hacked, but Doomrat takes out Geek on the hack. And it's going to be a headshot battle. Mr. Sir Claps able to get him, though, with the melee. Kitsune Rush has to be committed by Saginaw. Suzu, Lindsay can't get out. And UNI going to retake the robot. 4 minutes left to play.
That is the scary part, Hunter, is while there's 4 minutes left to play, I still think that's plenty of time for anything to happen. UNI still have to win a couple team fights to get some actual push here. They have to win this one, and then maybe one more.
And Totoro get another headshot. Oh, he moved it, but he gets the follow-up. Get the 2-tap, why don't you, Totoro? Kill's a kill. Mega able to take out Doomrat. Roadkill able to swap to Nemesis mode, get the kill confirmed on Mega. He's good for 2. He's going to go ahead and press the point and the advantage. Geek has to get out, but Mr. Circlaps with the pulse bomb. Able to continue the stagger.
Oh, that's a big pick. UNI just pushing closer and closer right now. Saginaw have to do something, or it is the series for them.
Mega's just being too aggressive. He's continually diving the back line, and that is not where the help is needed. The help is needed on your front line because you are losing so many squishy members. Doomrat, he's going to be hacked, going to utilize, as Roadkill's going to go back on Annihilation. He's going to touch spawn doors. It takes out 3 at spawn. UNI will go ahead and press the bot all the way. UNI sweeps Saginaw Valley.
That's what I'm talking about. UNI played it really well. That last game was beautiful, the way that they were playing together.
Yeah, they played together, forced out Saginaw to kind of be separated. And towards the end there, Joe, I felt like UNI, or I guess Saginaw for that matter, was too focused on their solo duties. And you always saw Mega trying to jump in the back line. You saw the Sombra try and get the pick. You saw so many parts just not playing cohesively together. We basically saw Saginaw play like as UNI week 1. And UNI playing a very excellent team comp like you mentioned.
Yeah, if you look at like a clip of UNI a couple of weeks ago and then show them a clip from this game, it's almost like 2 different teams. So whatever they've done in the meantime, since I haven't been here casting, seems to be working out for them, as they just played like a team all night tonight. Very good.
Yeah, I think they did an awesome job with the shout-outs, with the call-outs, able to play a cohesive team composition, knew when to swap, when not to. And I feel like we're seeing the sort of kind of little inclinations of what could be a potential playoff team. UNI, of course, on that cusp of making the playoffs if they continue to win out.
Yep. And while we do still have some viewers, if you guys like tonight's stream and you want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and follow the Twitch, put a Go Cats in the chat. Or if you want to do a little more, you can click the merch button, or it'll take you to guardianproline.com/collection/northern-iowa-panther-esports. There are t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts. The jerseys are for a lot cheaper than the normal sports jersey, and you can customize it. So if you want to support us like that, please do that. Otherwise, put a Go Cats in the chat.
Yeah, Go Cats. UNI picking up their second win. Going to go ahead and improve them to 2-3, while the Cardinals will go to 2-2. They still have a matchup against the Indiana Hoosiers on March 9th. So their week 4 yet to be determined. So depending on that outcome, UNI might get the 4th place spot in the division. So are we doing an interview? Are we calling it here, Joe? What's what's your thoughts? I guess I'll first ask you, who do you think is the player of the game?
I would have to say either Roadkill or Totoro. I feel like Roadkill is making insane space on tank tonight, but at the same time, Totoro had a couple different people looking for him throughout the entire series, and he did go down a couple of times, but I don't know, just making that space with the existence of your own pick seems pretty good. So if we do an interview, it would probably be Totoro or Roadkill for my picks.
For me personally, it would have to be XNL because playing the Ana and getting some very clutch sleeps, like interrupting Mega's dive with some of the sleep darts, was top tier Ana utilization, and you constantly saw bio grenades playing a factor in the team fights, and the constant sustain and heal that XNL has, of course, very good mechanically in that regard. I would have to give it to XNL personally.
Well, it seems we've reached an impasse.
I do believe we have.
Okay, we can do XNL. I don't think we've interviewed XNL yet.
Yeah. Are we able to pull in XNL here?
Let me message him.
But yeah, really big shout out to Bill in production here. As you can kind of see already on your screen, we have the wonderful overlay of the cams that you saw tonight. So big shout out to Bill. And I'm sure it's a little messed up because we have 3 screens. I don't know. 3-minute delay.
Okay, I shot him a message to join a channel so we could drag him in. Let's see if he does.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But I also, to kind of reiterate what you've said, Joe, Totoro with the headshots tonight and the hit scan on the Widow, I don't want to, I want to be impartial as a shoutcaster.
It's aura, dude. He got people to like keep swapping for him, and even though it didn't end up working out for Saginaw, the swaps, you know, it's aura.
I mean, yeah, Totoro able to go ahead and get it done on the hit scan just was unstoppable tonight. And I know that there's some fans for Totoro in the chat, but in the meantime, we have XNL in the chat. Congratulations, XNL, on your win tonight. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. That was awesome.
That was awesome. It was awesome to watch you guys. It looked like you guys are playing like a team much more than any other game we've seen, or at least I've seen.
Yeah, it was odd that going into today, we did not expect that we were going to be down a player, with Unlasting not being here. But unfortunately, he was unable to make it, so next man up.
Well, it worked out for you guys. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. Never thought that I would see the day that I actually played DPS in a competitive scene for Overwatch. And getting to play the Ana is always fun.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and talk us through that first point on Control? You guys were you lost the first map and then you went ahead and swapped the second 2. What was the first game jitters like? Was there communication? Talk us through Control.
First point of first map, we were running the Zarya into the ROM, which can go either way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did end up going in their favor, and with all of those long, narrow sightlines, we just weren't able to close the distance on their backline, and so they just were able to destroy us. However, going into the following 2 points, Roadkill was able to swap to the ROM. He's very familiar with it, has played it a lot, is a great player, and was just the better ROM. That's all it was. Is he was able to create the space that allowed our DPS to get what they needed to get done, and me and Doomrad were just along for the ride, keeping them up.
Yeah, you guys, I just want to know what the comms are like, because it seemed like you guys are all playing as a team really well, but it seemed like they were really hungry for your DPS. SVSU was, and so I just am interested, like, what were the comms like tonight?
Yeah, so surprisingly, they were a lot calmer than they normally are. Normally, we are pretty sporadic and end up calling different targets. However, tonight, it seemed like there was a little bit less calls, but the calls that were made were followed up on better. And so just being able to flow as a team when we've got 2, 3, 4 people in our backline trying to hunt Totoro down before he gets a pick that swings the fight.
Yeah, maybe talk a little bit more about your teammate Totoro. He was able to play the hit scan, the Widow so much tonight. How has he evolved as a hit scan player since we don't have Unlasting tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing his normal roles. He loves playing the hit scan. Insane aim. I aspire to shoot like that man. But he was feeling the shots tonight. He literally said in one of our callouts, "Man, I wish this tracer would test me because it's just when you're hitting your shots, you hope that you can get something like that to just give yourself a little bit of a test."
How did you guys feel about that tracer pick?
Honestly, with Doomrad playing the Brig and our team peeling as good as we did, it didn't bother us that much. Obviously, it's scary out the gate because you know it's coming, but I think the team handled it well, and after that, we weren't that worried about it.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So we saw at one point, especially on the last bit of Circuit Royale, and of course there on Coliseo, Mega swapped to the Winston, and I almost felt like you were hitting the sleep darts like a little bit too insanely there. Can you maybe talk about how you felt about seeing the Winston there as you were playing Ana?
Winston, it scared me. Knowing that he's gonna be on me and Totoro and Mr. Sir Claps just all the time. Is really scary, but RNG gods let me hit the sleeps, including sleeping a Sombra as she came out of EMP, which baffled me. But yeah, I genuinely think I just got lucky.
Well, hopefully it's not just luck and skill too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's some luck involved, but I think something like Ana sleep, there's a pretty good amount of skill involved. So nice job. You guys killed it tonight. I don't have any other questions.
All right, so very real question for you. The most important question of tonight is what is your favorite flavor of Oreo and why?
Oreo's gotta go with the mint. Love me a
Okay.
mint and chocolate combination.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Mint
'Cause
Oreos
I don't know
are good.
how I feel about mint in general. I'll be honest, guys.
What
Like
the hell?
mint ice cream, I don't know if I'm a fan. Joe, I see you perplexed now that we have cams.
That's a
I don't know
take.
about this. Yeah, I don't know about that. Mint is like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those like core herbs or like flavors for a really long time. So I think you've got kind of a sus take, if I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, well, I guess I didn't know I was going to be the one put on blast tonight. All right. Well, congrats on your second win of the season, XNL. Good job playing tonight, and hopefully it continues and you guys make the playoffs.
Thank you so much.
All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up here, Joe?
No, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank our players for showing up and doing so well. It was fun casting.
Yeah, always enjoy casting with you, Joe, and with a really amazing UNI Panther team. So with that, UNI will go ahead and improve to 2-3, whereas SVSU Cardinals will go ahead and go to 2-2. Next week, UNI will go ahead and play against the Northern Illinois University Huskies, whereas SVSU will play against Louisville Red. So, for Bill in production, thank you for joining us tonight. Joe, in the booth with me. He's on the screen with me. How exciting is that? My name is Hunter. Thank you for joining us for UNI Panthers Overwatch. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.
Bracket, but I have high hopes for these guys. As Colin goes to the backboard, double touch, and he gets it.
He's got sight and a good pick. Another good pick. And another good. He's going crazy with it.
Oh! That was disgusting.